Brothers and sisters, I know that you have all heard about the announcement of Governor Abbott concerning COVID restrictions for the state of Texas. As of now, the state of Texas is allowed to open all businesses to 100% capacity, and that masks are no longer required of any person all throughout the state. I know that these words are both comforting and distressing. To some, this announcement is a joyous celebration that marks a clear path back to normalcy. You've heard me say it numerous times throughout this past year that we have all these protocols and restrictions, how much I do not like masks, how much I do not like the social distancing and all of the other policies that we've had to employ, because I would love to see each and every one of your bright and shining faces worshiping God with me on Sunday morning, and to embrace all of you the way that we once did. I, at least part of me, rejoices with you at this news from the governor's office. On the other hand, I also recognize that the pandemic is not over. While we see the rise in vaccines being given out, and that is, of course, an encouraging sign, the threat of yet another rise in cases is still very credible. And for some, the words of Governor Abbott are disconcerting at the least and dangerous at the most. For these persons, now even the small activities of going to the grocery store, eating out at their favorite restaurant, or coming to church is going to be fraught with an even heightened sense of fear and of stress. Now, I am not making this video to condone one side or the other, but to say that I do understand both. Paul warns the members of the church in Corinth to be careful that their strong faiths could actually become a stumbling block to others. Now, while Paul in his letter speaks of the food being eaten at the temples of idols, I think we can all understand that more can be placed in this lesson than just the food that is being consumed. Paul wants us to understand that even though doing something that might not harm us as faithful followers of Christ is still not okay if it could still do harm to another that is either weaker in the faith or is not in the faith yet. Christianity is a religion that must be practiced within community. Without love of neighbor, you can have no love for either God or yourself. It is the job of a strong Christian to look out for those who are not quite strong enough yet. Saying all of this, I want to tell you that Needville United Methodist Church will continue the policies of mask wearing in service, social distancing in our services, and the sanitation of the sanctuary for the foreseeable future. And I also will urge you to continue to wear your masks even outside of the church as you go about your daily lives. And I encourage you by saying these words: we do not endure this discomfort for ourselves. We do it for our neighbor, for the stranger, and for the other. Paul cautioned his congregants who had strong faith to be wary that their strong faith could cause weaker members to stumble. The idea is simply one of looking outside of ourselves and towards the person across from us and desiring their best interest over ours, their best interest over our comfort. Of course, over the next coming weeks, I, alongside of our trustee board and our church council, will continue to monitor everything that is going on. We will continue to look forward towards the day that we can take the masks off completely without fear, and to remove the tape in our sanctuary so that all the pews can be filled with believers, that we can worship and sing and pray together hand in hand as we so often did. And when that day comes, I can promise you that I will be there rejoicing with each and every one of you. But we must be patient. We will not jump the gun or go too quickly. We will be patient. We will be wise. And above all, we will be kind, so that all will feel welcome and safe in the holy space that we are blessed to call home. I urge you to continue to pray for our state, for our leaders, and for our church, that God would give us the wisdom, strength, and courage to continue fighting the good fight, running the good race, and working within His will for our community.